Thank you, Miss Shirley. I was crying this morning on prayer line, and I feel like my nose has dry stuff around it. All right, good morning. Good morning. I believe, hold on, let me make sure I ain't leaving it on. No, y'all might not tell me I'm looking crazy. You see, am I okay? Thank you, Miss Shirley. Am I okay? Good morning, user 918. Am I right, y'all, or no? Okay, I feel okay. I feel all right. I feel all right. I'm feeling all right. Okay. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you, Shirley, so much for the likes. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Okay. Good morning. We are live and kicking it. We are at it. We are doing this thing. We are up and doing it, y'all. We are making this thing. We going live. We going live. We live. We are live and ready. All right, good morning. It is Monday morning. We have made it to January 6, 2025. We've been 6 days into year. Welcome, Michelle. Welcome, friend. This is the first Monday of 2025. What are you going to do with it? I'm Coach Kenya Lachelle Elliott, and it is time to face your fears for our daily motivational reading. And as you know, if I don't know anything else, I know about the trials and tribulations of overcoming fear. So I choose every day to show up and be consistent for myself, which also then helps others benefit. So we do this thing together. My girls and I agreed that for 365 days, we were going to make this thing happen. So here we are doing it. We are on day 31. So thank you to everyone who's purchased your books to join in on the readings each day. All those who's commented me, who chat me, who've reached out to me, and to all the women who have joined my 5-week transformation program. Congratulations on saying yes to you, and welcome to the 5-week transformation therapeutic weight loss program. You are wanted and welcome here. I'm excited to hold space for you. I am excited to get to know you. I'm excited to work with you towards your goals, one day at a time, one prayer at a time. That's how we're going to do it. We don't have to discover or win at anything overnight. Our job is to simply become more open and to ask our higher powers to allow us to have a new experience in ourselves, a new experience in weight loss, and a new experience in what we think we know about life. When we do that, we remove, good morning, Shaq, good morning, grandmother. When we do that, we remove this disbelief. We remove this misconception, okay? We remove this misconception of life away from us when we take a deeper dive. And so welcome in to take a deeper dive with me. I know what's kept me clean and sober for 4 years and what's kept my mind straight, and it's been these 2 books. And so today I would like to continue on a journey towards sharing them with you. And that if you have any questions about any of my programs, any of thing I do, please feel free to drop those in the comment. But before we hop into it, I just want to take a moment and welcome everybody in that I see coming in all the chats. Hold on. That's what I have. It feels like something's on my nose. All right. So on our Facebook group, thank you guys so much for being here this morning. Welcome in iRise Tribe. We are so grateful to have you here. And thank you to all those on the replay, those on the live. If you are with me, I want you to hit 1. Those on the replay, hit a 2 for my Facebook group. If you're here coming to me live from Instagram, thank you so much for being here. Drop a red heart to let me know you are live, and drop a green heart if you catch us on the replay. That way we know when you scroll by us and you say go for it and you jump right in. I want to stop and take a moment and say good morning to my TikTok family, because we got a lot of them. There's over 60,000 people between my 2 TikToks. So I want to go ahead and give some shout out to both TikToks and then YouTube and my Facebook page. I haven't forgot you. I see you in the building. Thank you so much, YouTube, for rocking with me. Thank you to all my followers on YouTube and my viewers. I know it's a lot of good mornings. Hold on, I'm getting to you. Good morning, Glinda and Olivia. Is that all? I'm looking for Olivia C. Olivia C. Olivia C. You participated in my raffle. I'm having some difficulty finding you. Love Scented and Lisa Fields and Miss Glenn and Queen Virgo and Goddess and Jennifer. Good morning. And Jameson, I think, and Micro, good morning, and Kiki, good morning, Flojo, good morning, Rashima, good morning, Shirley. Okay, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. We are mighty, but we are few. I don't worry about how many people are in my life. I don't worry about numbers. I worry about making sure I stay in my purpose, and I'm sure you get what you came here for, was just to be inspired, and hopefully you'll hear something that'll help you lead to a better version of yourself. That's the real goal here. So I'm not really worried about who ain't in the building. I just know that the people that are supposed to be here, right now. So let's get to it and do it. So if you have your first book, as always, we're going to hop right in on day 32 of our 365 days of Fear Not.
A lot of the congregations we are working with find that the money that they save allows them to invest more into their mission.
Hold on. I realize it looks like I don't have on shorts, and I do. We don't need no problems with TikTok. Okay. All right. We are on day 32. We made it. We've been reading for 32 days. We are staying consistent. Good morning, Liz and Latanya. Good morning, gorgeous. Don't forget to follow me. If you just stumbled upon me and you don't know what I do, yes, that's me behind me. If your story looks anything like that, then you've come to a place that can help, and that can give you some inspiration and some motivation, and can understand, because I've been through it all. All right, day 32. Let's get into it. It is written, and he answered, "Fear not, for they that be with us are more than they that be with them." 2 Kings 6:16. Principle of today. Fear brings loneliness and abandonment, but faith in God brings his comforting presence. Prayer number 1. I'm confident of divine comforting presence over my life. Therefore, my life is secured in Jesus' name. 2. Thank God for his assuring presence in my life in Jesus' name. Thank God for his assuring presence in my life in Jesus' name. Are we following it? I'm going to read it again. Fear brings loneliness and abandonment. Is anybody catching that? I'm going to do it again. Fear brings loneliness and abandonment. If you're new to this series, what we're doing is we're basically looking at the ways that fear can show up in your life and cause a hindrance to you being able to progress, stay motivated, stay inspired towards your goals, including your health and wellness goals. So what we're actually doing is we're looking at the effects of fear and what roles it can be playing in our life, in our weight loss journey, okay, in our business, in our jobs, in that promotion, in that relationship, with those children, with the spouse. Is there areas in your life where fear? Good morning, T.I. Welcome into the best moderator in the world. Good morning, Chrissy, and I think it's Smithy, and Shimmy, and Miss Lee, and Ashley. Welcome in, and Shirley. Thank you so much for those likes. Good morning, Hattie. Thank you, guys. Thank you, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook, because I can't see you guys' comments. So I struggle to see comments, so I am trying to see them. I don't know why I can't see them, but it doesn't like me to see them. So, I don't know why. All right. So, fear brings loneliness and abandonment. How are you doing today, Blue-Eyed? How many of us know that there have been times where we've fallen into the feelings? Good morning, Caitlin. Good morning, Christine, of loneliness and abandonment. I know I have. I know I know that I've stayed in situations because I was fearful of being abandoned and lonely. Fear. Yeah, I know that I made choices because I didn't want to feel that feeling of abandonment and loneliness from whatever situation I was in. I didn't want to feel left out. I didn't want to feel not a part. I didn't want to feel part, I didn't want to feel those things. Good morning, Jennifer. I didn't want to feel those things, Melissa. So I might have stayed in fear. And because of that fear, I might have become more lonely. If fear produces loneliness and abandonment, and I'm already feeling lonely, I'm going to become more afraid. It's going to be like a cycle of chaos, a cycle of straight chaos. You know why? Because I'm just going to bounce from either being in fear or feeling lonely about being in fear. I'm either feeling lonely and abandoned or I'm feeling fearful. So nope, I'm never having a relief. I'm always feeling like something is wrong. How many of you are sitting around feeling like a shoe is going to drop? No matter what you do, you can't seem to pull it in line. I can relate. I've been there. How many of you have failed on your previous New Year's resolution, so you're afraid to set resolutions this year related to your health and wellness because you don't want to fail again? Thank you for the follow, beautiful. Thank you so much. Good morning, Sheila. How many of us have started something and because we didn't complete it all the way, it's not that we failed at it, we just didn't finish it, and because we didn't finish it, we won't go back and try it again? How many of us have used the excuse that it's too late, but we would support someone else who's older than us wanting to do the same thing we once desired to do? Their dream is okay to live, but it's too late for us. Why? Is it too late for us because of the fear? What is making it too late for us? Is it too late for us because we have not realized that we are strong enough to win? Kenya, good morning. I'm Kenya. Good morning, Coco. Good morning, Cha-Cha. Good morning, Tammy. Good morning, Martha. Good morning, Blessed. Good morning, guys. Are you living in fear, which leads to feelings of loneliness and abandonment? These are facts. Look, you can double down on it. Look. Hey, Lunar Love, how are you? Hey, Sugar Jones, you can double down on this. Check this out on fear. Have you ever been somewhere and you was afraid to go? And the first few minutes that you got there, because you went alone, you felt lonely for no reason. You wanted to go. You had got up enough gumption to go. Good morning, Miss Rachel. You got up enough gumption to go. You got up enough gumption to arrive, but because when you got there, you were standing in fear, you immediately felt some feelings of loneliness and abandonment kicked in, and then you felt rejection, but no one actually rejected you, and so out the door you ran. You didn't even give it a try. You didn't even give it an attempt because fear overwhelmed you. Facing our fears, is it stopping you from excelling and prevailing in your life? How many of us went to the gym, had a bad experience, and we've never went back again? And as a result, we've continued to yo-yo back and forth with our weight loss because we think the gym is the solution to our problems. It's actually the opposite. There was a traumatic experience at the gym, so we need to heal from that so we can look at moving our body and exercising differently. Good morning, Sonia. We need the opportunity to change the way we viewed what happened so that we're able to embrace the activity. The action that we were going for wasn't supposed to be destroyed by the incident, but it was. What the action was is that we wanted to be able to effectively, go and work out. Well, because we had a not so good experience, now I might not feel so great. Okay, I might not feel that great about the gym, so I may be less likely to now work out. I may be less likely to move my body. But if I'm able, good morning, Mocha, good morning, Missy. If I'm able to get up those emotions, good morning, is it Albert and Hobby? Thank you, Miss Sheila, for the likes. Good morning, Lisa. But if I'm able to get over that, good morning, Stephanie. If I'm able to move past that fear, then I won't immediately fall into those same emotions of loneliness and abandonment. Coming from someone who has actually been abandoned, who's actually been left alone in real life, real stories, real involved adult parties, I can validate how easy it is to get into the feeling of feeling alone and abandoned. I can also validate how people in your everyday life can drudge up these emotions inside of you by accident. Good morning, Kay. Good morning, Camion. Is it Camion? Good morning, Maya. Can you clarify your question? You understand what I'm saying? Because if I already have experienced a traumatic incident that made me feel lonely and abandonment as a result of that incident. And it's kind of a fresh wound on my emotional sleeve. Then when things are happening, when things happen, I may be likely to respond with those emotions because those emotions are familiar to my psyche, to my schema, to my body, to my mind. My body is familiar to those emotions. So when something arouses it and it feels similar to the situations, my mind may think immediately, oh my gosh, I've been abandoned again. They've left me out. They didn't include me. You understand? I'm not wanted. They didn't invite me. They didn't ask me. And these emotions may lead and drive you to those feelings of fear, and then they may further grow. Okay? This is why looking at fear, which seems like something that wouldn't have anything to do with weight loss, is actually important. Specifically, if you've been on a weight loss journey before and you struggled and or gained weight back. There's some healing that has to happen with that previous version, or you'll find yourself only trying to lose weight again to get back to the previous version that you used to be. And why would you want to go backwards to who you used to be? If you have the knowledge of succeeding once, it means you can succeed even better again. Why would I want to go backwards? Why would I want to become, if I can just get to where I used to be? I don't want to be nowhere I used to be. The woman I am today is in such a high echelon level of the person I used to be. They don't even match. Good morning, Sarah. Good morning, Miss Ortiz. They don't even match anymore. The person I used to be don't even match. I don't care what she looked like physically. The person that was inside of her mentally was a hot mess express. I never want to go back to that. I don't know how people would want that. That's insane to me. It's absolutely insane to me. But the truth to the matter is, there is an ideology that we believe we can get back to where we used to be. Well, baby, if you were supposed to stay where you used to be, you would have never left it. These are the things you have to come to a realization that who you're trying to get to is a fictitious ideal of who you never were. How about hitting the reset button? But are you too afraid to even do that? See, this fear thing is a real thing, even though you probably think, who is this woman that's coming live every single day talking about the same thing and nobody's in her life? I'm not worried about that. The ones that's supposed to be here are here. Let's move on to Melanie Beebe. Tomorrow we will be on day 33. We're easing our weight right on along. Day 33 is tomorrow. 32 is today. Now, not only do we look at our fear, because fear is only half the battle. Because fear is only half the battle, then we have to take a deeper dive and look at our relationships and how we're dealing with our relationships. Remember, we're realizing how strong we are. Okay? The slogan on this sweatshirt. Okay? The brand of the company, the name of the program. I Rise is the name of the wellness program. We're realizing how strong we are because what we need has always been inside of us. It's a matter of us tapping into it. Good morning, Lorena. Good morning, beautiful. Good morning, Kay. Thank you for being here. Good morning, Cliff. It's inside of us already. So our only task is to tap into it and stay tapped into it. That's your task. Your task is that we tap into it and we stay tapped into it. When we look at our fear, what we'll also discover is how we interpret our dealings with other people. Okay? We then discover our dealings with other people. From discovering our dealings with other people, we'll learn that some of our relationships are jaded. And now we have to take a deeper dive into why these relationships are set up awkwardly in our lives. So we're not just going to look at the fear that may be preventing us from reaching our weight loss goals, our business goals, our school goals, our financial goals. We're also going to look at, hey, are there things that I'm perpetuating in my thinking, in my living, in my daily environment, environmental obesity, environmental stressors, environmental financial deprivation? Are they continuing to hold me down and restrict me? Am I always having not enough? Am I always getting almost there? Good morning, Lachelle. That's my middle name. Am I always almost getting there? What's the barrier? Yvette, I'm so sorry about the time, but did you get my message? I remembered yesterday in the live, and then I wanted to make sure I screenshot them to you. Am I almost always, have you ever noticed you get everything going, boom, blows up. You almost get there. No more of that. We declare and decree that to be removed, rebuked from your life. There's no more almost there. There's no more almost hit my goal. There's no more almost tone my body up to where I want it. There's no more of that. I'm declaring, decreeing over your life that I sent it from 480-410-1811 from my business line, honey. I declare and decree that no weapon formed against me shall prosper. Right. We're gonna speak these things over ourselves. We're saying nope. I'm refusing to lose. I'm only willing to win. I'm only willing to succeed. I'm only willing to keep pushing. I'm willing. I'm ready. All right, here we go. Good morning, Sophia. Good morning, Hanan. Hi, Anita. January 6th by Melody Beatty says, embrace the unknown. Oh shit, I gotta get a cup of sip. Get a sip of y'all coffee because Melody brings it, y'all. And if you're new to doing this with me, we do this every morning. And if you're new to doing this with me, then I want you to know. Good morning, Rosa. Good morning, Carla. Good morning, Yvette. So good to see you, beautiful. Good morning, Georgia. Good morning. Is it Hydra? Good morning, Hydra. Good morning, Reyes. Good morning. 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 All right. Let's get into it. Embrace the unknown. Cheers to today's reading. I have a really cool coffee warmer, so my coffee is nice and hot. It ain't hot, I'm going to say warm. It's nice and warm. All right. Embrace the unknown. How boring it would be if we knew everything that was going to happen. Yet, we are always trying to peek around the corner and see ahead. I'm doing wonderful, grandmother. If we knew everything that was going to happen, we wouldn't need to experience it. There would be nothing to learn, explore, or gain. We'd stay in our heads instead of our hearts. So often, it's the surprises of the moments and hours, the unexpected twists and turns that give meaning to our journey and make our lessons come alive. You are connected to truth. You are connected to divine guidance. You can trust and embrace your guidance from God. That means you will get all the visions, all the guidance, all the advanced knowledge and wisdom you need. Not too much to spoil the surprise, not too much to neutralize the lesson. Just enough guidance to let you know you are never alone. Embrace the unknown. Now, I didn't coordinate the fact that the reading today was about fear causing you to have feelings of loneliness, abandonment. And then the reading talks about when you're embracing the unknown, how it can make you feel lonely. What's one thing that happens when you do something you don't know anything about, that you can't relate to, that you have no experience to? What's one thing that happens? Tap the like button. What's one thing that happens to you? We're talking about it right now. Drop it in the comments. What's one thing that happens to you when you recognize you're doing something that's unknown? You get scared. Good morning. Is it Sikkim? Did I say it right, babe? Sikkim? What's one thing? Fear. When you do something you don't know how to do or it's unknown, you get afraid. It's the first thing you do. That first date, that blind date, you get afraid of the blind date. The job, you get afraid the first day. You get nervous to speak in front of people. I don't care if you've been speaking in front of people for 50 years, you still get nervous. It's a natural sensation to have some level of fear. What we're talking about is if fear has caused you to be prohibited in your life to succeed at your health and wellness and any other areas that may be limited. It may not be your waistline. It may be your frame of mind. Your problem may not be in the kitchen anymore. You may have already beat that demon. Your problem may be in the way that you think, in the way that you control, meddle, and bother other people's life. It may be in the fact that you don't mind none of your own business. It may be in the fact that you continue to sacrifice your soul for everyone else and no one is sacrificing themselves for you. So you don't have to have the same type of fear, but fear is a universal language, and so is pain. And because fear and pain can remain in the same space, we are often walking around in one of the two. Either people are in fear or they're in pain. Pick a side, pick a path, but we're always in one. You just have to figure out which one you're willing to fight through. You're either willing to fight through pain or you're willing to fight through fear. But one of those are going to exist. It doesn't matter your color, your race, your size, your sex, your income. My friend, you either living in one, fear or pain. You either running to pain or running from pain. Now let me explain to you what I mean by pain. One of y'all thinking, no, don't nothing in my body hurt. There's the first misconception right there. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the gifts. The first misconception you're making is you think I'm talking about physical pain. Now, some of y'all are in physical pain. Back hurt, knee hurt, neck hurt, leg hurt, thigh hurt, cramp hurt, lupus acting up, endometrius turning up, PCOS jacked up, IBS going crazy, irritable bowel jacking up, Crohn's syndrome, diverticulitis ain't acting right, and all those other things that be going on with our bodies. Some of us are in pain. And then some of us is in a different type of pain, a pain that you can't touch, a pain that you can't see, a pain that they can't even describe to you. And we call that emotional pain. The pain that you can't put your finger on, the pain that dwells within you that is dark and deep and you can't mention of it. It's the pain that you have to shove down to the bottom so that you can rise to the top. It's the pain that if you try to explain it, they'll tell you, girl, what you sad about? You got everything going on for you. It's the pain that makes you anxious. It's the pain that you wish you had a name for, but you don't. It's the pain you even tried to explain it to your doctor and he gave you another blood pressure pill. It's that pain. Good morning, Shamika. Good to see you again. Thank you for the likes, baby. Thank you for the likes. Thank you guys so much. I think we can get 1,000 likes. I'm not sure. I hope so. It's that level of pain, guys. So that's what I mean by pain. Now let me tell you what I mean by fear, because I don't want to give you this knowledge and then leave you out in these streets at 7 o'clock in the morning on the West Coast time, and then I leave you out in these streets and I don't fill you up with at least the background information of what I'm gabbing about, right? I don't want to just gab at you. I want to give you just a little bit more about what I mean. So I told you what I mean by fear, right? Now let me tell you what I mean by pain. Let me tell you what I mean by fear. Now some of you are probably thinking I'm not scared of nothing right now, right? You're probably thinking, you know what? I'm not scared of anything, coach. I'm just really trying to get this weight off of me. But I want to tell you a little thing about fear. Fear is a sneaky little thing. Fear will have you running late to everything. Fear will have you telling little white lies. Fear will have you telling people you made phone calls you know you forgot to make. Fear will have you telling people you sent emails you ain't sent yet. Fear will have you telling people you want to go places you don't even like being. Fear will have you agreeing to things you know that you don't never remember happening. Fear will have you in situations you can't get out of. Fear will have you lying on people you didn't mean to lie on. Fear will have you agreeing with people you would never agree with. Fear will have you in church houses, storehouses, drug houses, and back houses that you should never be in because you was afraid. Fear have you in these streets acting like a delusional psycho. Fear have you controlling, meddling, and bending things to work in your favor because you're afraid. I'm going to tell you what, one of the things that the type of fear that's taught to most single parent family members. I'm going to tell you a fear that's taught to you. Rob Peter to pay Paul. They teach you that if you think you can't make it, then go ahead and rob Peter and pay Paul, and you'll figure it out later. And sometimes after you've robbed Peter to pay Paul, there's no comings for you to pay Paul, and then you realize you was never supposed to rob Peter. But fear had you so anxious. Fear had you caught up. Fear had you scared, so you went and made a move out of fear that you didn't even need to make. And although the solution came, the solution would have been better had you not made a move at all. But fear had you robbing Peter ready to pay. Paul. Fear looks like when you want to go, you got to go somewhere, but you scared of the outcome of who you might see at that thing you trying to go to. So you going to go a little later. You going to try to go and hopefully you can miss that person. That's a form of fear. It's called avoidance. Okay. There are things that we do, the way we move, the way we act are actually signs of micro expressions of fear that's in our life. And these things begin to grow arms and legs. So say you may start off being afraid of, let's say you were afraid to stand up and tell someone how you feel when they hurt your feelings at home. Well, you get a job and they do the same and you never tell them how you feel. And then you get another job and you go 5 or 10 years and you realize that no one seems to know how you feel. And it's all because it started out as fear from one time, a long time ago, when you spoke up, someone shut you down and it shut you into silence and your voice was stolen and you ain't got it back yet. And now everyone thinks you're such a loving, helpful, great, agreeing, obeying, assisting type person. But really what it is, you are shut down, quiet, unallowed, unopinionated person who had their voice stolen a long time ago. And because no one's asked you what you think, no one's thought to ask you what you think because you're so quiet. They don't realize your quietness has nothing to do with you being a quiet person, but somewhere along the way, someone stole your echo of a voice. Your voice got taken, and see, you got things to say and you even know stuff about stuff. You got people around you struggling with stuff about stuff, and you know how to fix that stuff that they shall struggle with. But because they've taken your voice, they won't listen to what you say, or they'll do that other thing they like to do where they'll call you baby, they'll call you daddy, they'll call you Dennis, they'll call you Sakeem, they'll call you Kay, and then they'll get all the tips and feedback from you, hang up the phone with you and call somebody else, and then call you back and tell you that the other person told you your idea. What? Wait a minute. Hold on. Felicia called Tamika and hang up on Bobby. I'm gonna say it one more time in case you didn't catch it. Cause some of y'all don't be catching me. I be deep up in the abyss of understanding. The person will call you the quiet one, the solution one, the one that solves the problems, will seek the information from you, hang up with you as if you've solved something and you feel righteous, you feel fixed it, you feel liberated, and call somebody else, and then somebody else will regurgitate what you've already said in a different language. And when you call that person back to check on him, to ask him how it went, they tell you that they talked to Tasha and Tasha told her to go do A, B, Q, and D, and she went and did it, and she's so glad she listened. But all you can remember is that you told her to go do A, B, and C before she called Tasha. So I'm not sure how you're calling me, telling me that someone else set you free when you called me first. But see, my voice is invalidated in your life. Come on now, this is for somebody. You see, what I learned is that my voice is not validated in your life. I'm a part of your life, but my voice is invalidated in your life, meaning that when I tell you something, you have to seek third and fourth party research studies and validation. You have to go call on Jigaboo, Jezebel, and Joseph from the Bible, but you called me first. I didn't call you with your problem. You called me with your problem, honey. But yet you inquired. You inquired on my line. I gave you what God gave you, what gave me. I gave you, yeah, that's right. I gave you what God gave me for you. And you went and had it verified by a third party who don't even pray. And now you coming back to me telling me your friend that's sleeping with a married man done gave you advice on your situation with your husband. My God, what you called me for? You see, some of us aren't validated verbally. because our voice was stolen long ago and we never fully got it back. Because see, the right thing would have said to her when she called us back, girl, I told you that when you called me. But see, you don't want to make no waves. You don't want to be a I told you so friend. You don't want to be a problematic friend. So what you're going to do is you're going to let her tell you that whole story. And when she gets to the end to celebrate the friend, you're going to be such a good friend and such a quiet friend that you're going to celebrate with her, because you don't want to make no waves. Because every time you try to, they say you act in some type of way. So now the fear that was keeping you quiet before is now really keeping you quiet. Because once again, you tried to speak up and it was shut down. See, we don't even realize that these small micro things are effects that play a role to our ego, to our psyche, to our heart, to our emotions. Many of us are walking around daily with our feelings being hurt and never been apologized to. Many of us are having shots and attacks on our size, our personality, our upbringing, the way we talk, the way we move, the way we think, and no one's defending us, and we're not even defending us because we don't know how, because we were never told that we were allowed to do that in the first place. I'm just talking about me. I might not be talking about you. You might not be able to relate. This might not be your story. I'm telling you my story. So if you happen to relate to my story, I appreciate you hitting the like button, but you don't have to. But all I'm telling you is what fear did me. And I was already feeling lonely and abandoned from the time I was 6 years old. So by the time I became a grown woman, it was already my middle name. My middle name was already Kenya Lachelle, victimized, lonely, abandoned Brim Davis. It didn't take me long to become her, because I had been her from a young girl. I had been placed in situations and circumstances that made me feel lonely. I was abandoned multiple times as a young girl, so I know what it feels like to be left out of things. So what happens as an adult, I will get in fear that someone's going to leave me out or that I'm not wanted. See, what happens as an adult is you can go anywhere you want to, but then what happens when you arrive, if you're not careful and you're walking in fear, the loneliness will show up in unwantedness. This is for somebody. You'll begin to feel like they don't want you there. They'll invite you there, but you'll feel like your invite is just because. You'll feel like you're not really welcome. You'll have conversations in your mind about how they really don't want you to come, how they just invited you because of so-and-so and who and boo-boo and cuckoo. But the fact of the matter is some of that is dwelling inside of you. You can conjure up a situation based on the energy that you deliver to the universe. People will see you as a weak-minded, broken victim if every time you show up, you a weak-minded, broken victim. If your story is always how the bad things are happening in your life, then people will only know you for the bad things happening in your life. If you take your child's sexual abuse, your trauma, your domestic violence, and make it a calling card instead of a green flag in your life, then you'll just become victimized by your circumstance. And then the person who is no longer touching you, who is no longer beating you, who is no longer holding you, hurting you, will still have the same amount of power, because although it may have happened 20 years ago, the way you're reliving it is happening right now today. That is called fear. Get out of it. Yet you can't get out of something that you haven't healed from. You can't heal from something that you continue to deny. You can't accept something that you can't get through something that you have not accepted through the denial. The pain. Many say it's not happening, I'm over it. I said that too, but what happened was it wasn't happening anymore. It had morphed into other behaviors. It had morphed into other belief systems. It had morphed into other disconnects, eating. You see the photos behind me? What once was pain from abandonment and sexual abuse and child abuse and neglect turned into a full-fledged food addiction. When I could no longer cry or vomit or starve myself, I began to overeat. The pain had to go somewhere. Remember, I said there were two things that we all had in common, and that was fear and pain. Because love can be defined uniquely across cultures, across countries, across continents. But fear, my friend, we've all had some of that. A baby experiences fear, an animal experiences fear, an adult experiences fear. That is the one thing we can experience: pain. An animal can experience pain. A baby can experience pain and express it, and so can you. It doesn't matter how much money you make to feel pain, or how much education, or what neighborhood you grew up with. You have some resemblance of what pain can look like, what it can feel like. Okay, there's some resemblance in you. So today I encourage you to look at what your pain looks like and how it's showing up in your life. And what are you willing to do? Good morning, Brown Sugar. Good morning, Deborah. And what are you willing to do to realize you're strong enough? What are you willing to do to rise? What are you willing to do to rise? What are you willing to do when you realize what your pain point is? What are you willing to do to I rise today? Are you going to recognize it and say, oh, I'll fix it later? Are you going to say, oh, it's not me, she's talking about everybody else? I might be talking about everybody else. Remember, my number one rule is take what you like and leave the rest. Everything ain't for you. Remember, that's like my number one rule. Is everything ain't for you. Take what you like and leave the rest. Some days, everything I talk about might fit you. And some days, things I talk about may not fit you. That's why you keep coming back. That's why you keep showing up. Because you show up to go up for you. You don't base it on what someone else is doing. When you continue to show up for yourself and don't base it about on what no one else is doing, two things will change in your weight loss and wellness journey. You won't fall off and fall on no more, because you're no longer doing you're no longer on you're no longer doing it for the purpose of reaching a goal. You're doing it for the purpose of sustaining wellness. When you get that switch on your weight loss journey, you'll be amazed what happened. There's no there. When you are truly seeking health, there's no there. We don't get healthy and then stop being healthy. That's not the way it works. But many of you lose weight and then stop doing what it took for you to lose weight. That's why it's important that it's sustainable. Because if you lose weight at 40, you realize you might live to 90, so you need to keep the weight off for 50 years. And make sure you heard me. So if you're 30, let's say you're 30 and you're taking the injection and you lost 160 pounds. You're going to at least live till you're 90. You realize you need to keep that 160 pounds off for 60 years. What your plan is? What's your plan? Remember, this is 10 years ago. That's why I'm asking you. I mean, I got a plan because I'm 10 years in the game. I'm maintaining 10 years in the game. So, some folks out here, y'all can't even keep off 20 pounds. I'm keeping off 479. What I'm trying to show you is about getting everything together. It can't just be at your waist. You got to do it all. You got to dig upstairs, downstairs, and all the stairs. You cannot skip your mindset and think just because I'm small enough, I don't got to do no more work. And the minute you get sad enough, lonely enough, or something worse enough or bad enough happen, you're going to revert back to emotional eating, because that's the way this game works if you don't have no coping skills. Okay? That's the way the game works if you don't have a coping skill. That's why you got to get a coping skill. That's why you got to have a system. That's why you got to have a plan. Because life is going to happen. That's why this cannot be a microwave journey. It has to be a committed process in which you show up every day on a regular basis and you commit something to your journey, at least one thing, no matter the what. Because this is one journey. All those other journeys you can start and stop. You can start a business, excel it, sell it, and go on to the next thing. You can raise your kids. They graduate, go off to college and get married. You can buy a car, pay it off, and sell it. All of those things are things that you can set an end point on when I get there. But your health and wellness, you should be looking at that every day. You should never tell yourself, oh, as soon as I get to 160, I ain't got to worry about it no more. Well, heck, yes, you do. You got to worry more. Don't feed yourself that. Because the same way it came before can come back. The same mindset that had you sitting and crying and eating it will come right back if you don't have a coping skill. Remember, if I lose the 25, 50, 60, 100 pounds right now, I'm 46. I plan on living till I'm about 90. I got to be able to maintain it, right? I don't want to be 592 pounds at 90. Oh no. I don't want to have lived this life and then go back to that? Why? I want to be able to sustain that. So I encourage you to take a look at everything. Look at your mindset. Look at your behaviors. Look at your lifestyle. Look at your environment. Is your environment conducive of healthiness? Is your environment full of toxicity, argument, fighting, drama, and chaos? You can't stay healthy in it, right? So we got to look at every area of how we're living, what we're doing, how we're thinking. And because we're looking at all the areas of our lives, this is where success is coming in. We're eating better, we're living better, and we're feeling better. We're addressing our nutrition. We're making sure we're getting the proper nutritional input daily, on a daily basis. We're not starving ourselves. We're not restricting ourselves. We're not eating 100 calories a day. We're doing things like we're supposed to be doing so that our body can heal. We're sleeping at night. We're feeling better. So we're moving our body 10 to 15 minutes, 3 to 4 times a week, because that's what normal people do. Not because we got to do it to lose weight, but that's what normal people actually do that are active adults. They actively move their bodies. We meditate. Did you know a lot of people actually meditate? A lot. We meditate and say affirmations. Why? Because positivity is very important in today's society. Our brain is processing hundreds of thousands of negative information all day long from the minute we open our eyes in the morning. And if we do not be ahead of it and come with positive energy and positive statements for ourselves, we will be sucked into the doubt, to the worry, and the negative statements that we create in our own brains about ourselves. Affirmations will keep you from being your own self-abuser. I'm going to repeat that. Affirmations will keep you from being your own self-abuser. I'm going to repeat that. Affirmations will keep you from being your own self-abuser. Coach, what does that mean? Many of you are so worried about somebody else talking crazy to you that you shouldn't even worry about that. You always quick to be on the clap back. But the way you talk to your own self, the way you abuse your own self internally, the way you call yourself names when you make a mistake or fall short, honey, you the worst of them all. If anybody should have an EPO, some of y'all need to take an EPO out on your own mindset. The way y'all degrade and talk bad about your body parts and your face and how it's not good and how you hate it. You can't even appreciate what you got. You won't even take a full picture of your body because you hate it so much, but it's the only body you got. And you hate the very thing you helped yourself get into it. Lack of acceptance is how we continue to avoid the realities of our circumstances. The best thing I could have did was accept the fact that I'm the reason why I ended up the person in that photo behind me. Nobody else. I had lupus, thyroid problems, diagnosed with PCOS, endometriosis, full hysterectomy, menopause with 30, 62 medications, 3 strokes, 3 heart attacks, paralysis, incontinence, gallbladder removed, issues, multiple miscarriages, 29 blood clots, 9 intubations, 9 codes, so many blood transfusions I can't even think of. A broken back in 12 places. Had to learn how to read, write, and speak again. I went through a period where I couldn't see. Everything was blurry and foggy. If that's an option, then there's definitely an option for you. Why would there not be? Why would they not be? How could the higher power that we know, love, and serve do all of that for me and not include you and not do it for you? Just think, if you're not even 5'92", if you want to lose 100 pounds, 150 pounds, if he did it for me, he could do it for you. Your job is you have to be willing. Many of us are praying for a solution, but we're not even willing to make the commitment. We're praying for a solution, but we won't make the commitment to the solution. That's the first part. I'm glad I caught this live. It definitely hits home. Oh, Shamika, I'm so glad you were here. I don't get to see you that often because of the time. I'm trying to switch up the times during the week so that we can get different time zones since we do 3 to 4 time zones. And I noticed that if I stay at the same time every day, that our East Coast is too late for them and it's too early for our Californians. So now here's me trying to catch the middles. So on Mondays and Wednesday, I'm going to try to catch the middles, and on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'm gonna try to catch our 9 a.m.s. So you'll see me kind of it'll get more stable when we kind of get our audience caught on each day, so we can try to catch the different crowds on the different pages. Okay, so that's how we'll do that. Thank you guys so much for the likes today. Any other questions? Good morning, Whitney and Sarah Burr and Bima. Thank you, Kay, for the likes. Any other questions? Hi, Terry, and is it Lil Lex Stevenson? Shamika, thank you so much for getting us those likes up for me today. Thank you so much. You and Kay did a wonderful job. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, if you don't have any questions for Coach, my name is Coach King Alicia Elliott. This is what I do. I come to you live every day talking about faith and fear and facing our fronts and how fear can be secretly driving you and keeping you from achieving your goals in health, wellness, or wealth. So I encourage you, don't forget to click the like and share and follow button. And I'll see you right here in the same place with the same face in this space tomorrow. Be blessed, abundantly blessed beyond measure today. It is the first full Monday of January, and you shall not let this day go without you rising above your average doings. So if you normally do basic, if you normally vibrate right here today, I want you to vibrate up here. If you normally this really helped me. Thank you, Kay. You're so welcome, babe. If you normally vibrate right here, I want you to vibrate up here. If you vibrate up here, I want you to vibrate up here. If you vibrate up here, I want you to vibrate up here. Wherever you currently vibrate at in your life, Trivia, Terry, Lily, I think, or Leela. Later, grandmother. See you later. I want you to rise above that. Push yourself and rise above that and have an absolutely and a phenomenal and amazing day. Absolutely and a phenomenal